Good morning, students. Let us continue with the concluding part of the section literary terms. Today, we are going to discuss four literary terms of our syllabus, and they are idyls, irony, epic, heroic couplet. Rather, five terms we are going to discuss today, and the fifth one is conceit. Let us start with idyls. Idyls derive its name from a Greek word meaning a little picture. And so the term idyll in poetry is associated with relative brevity and pictorial effect. It portrays incidents of rural life in farms which are suggestive of innocence and contentment, and other events of similar nature also. The language is so dexterously selected as to give the desired pictorial impression of the chosen theme. It is usually direct and straightforward, and its purpose is to create a visual image in the mind of the reader. The idyls of the Greek poet Theocritus have varied themes. They have different themes, such as town and country life, mythology, and the poet's own experiences and impressions. Other famous idyls are Milton's El Allegro and El Penseroso. Wordsworth's lines written in March, Tennyson's Idylls of the King, a sequence of Arthurian romances, and Browning's dramatic idyls are the perfect examples whereas English literature is concerned. This was all about idyls. Now we come to the another term, and that is irony. Irony basically is a form of contrast. There is a comparison, there is a contrast. It arises when we say something and mean just the opposite. Means when we say something to anybody and the meaning of that thing is just opposite, it is considered or it is called irony. Mainly, there are two types of irony: verbal irony and situational irony. Verbal irony is created out of contrast between saying and doing. Whereas verbal irony is concerned, it comes out from the difference, from the contrast, what the character says and what the character does. Whereas situational irony emerges from the two situations. Whereas situational irony is concerned, it comes out from two different situations: the expected and the real one. what we expect and what the reality is. Whereas situation is concerned, this type of irony comes or it emerges from that side. The one is almost the opposite of the other. Shakespeare's As You Like It furnishes several illustrations of the use of verbal irony. As You Like It, a drama by William Shakespeare, it has a number of examples, a number of illustrations where there is the use of verbal irony. It arises when Rosalind, disguised as a shepherd, accosts her love to her lover Orland in the forest of Arden and talks to him as if she were a man. Example is given when Rosalind, the heroine of that drama, she disguises herself as a shepherd and then accosts her love to the Orlando, where in the forest of Arden, and talks in such a way, in such a manner, as if she were a male or she were a man. Disguise is a source of verbal irony. When a character is disguised in other form, it is considered as a source of verbal irony. Shakespeare's Macbeth furnishes ample examples of situational irony, whereas another drama by William Shakespeare entitled Macbeth is concerned, it is full of situational irony. There are number of examples, there are ample illustrations of situational irony. It is said to occur when circumstances convey opposing meaning to the agents on one hand and the audience on the other. How and when it comes out? It occurs when the situation, when the circumstances, they convey different meaning, opposite meaning to the agents as well as to the audience. Visit of Duncan to Macbeth's castle is an instance of situational irony. When King Duncan visits the castle of Macbeth, where he is murdered, this is an example of situational irony. Duncan expresses his pleasure, but the audiences were aware that it means his doom. As he approaches there in the castle of Macbeth, he was respected, he was regarded, and he enjoyed the duration there in the castle. He was very happy, he was very pleased. But on the other hand, the audience was aware, the audience knew that King Duncan is going to meet his doom in the same castle. He praises the castle, but he was unaware of the reality, unaware of the fact that he was going to be murdered in the same castle. He is stabbed to death by his host, and as a result, he was injured, he was stabbed, and as a result of that fatal injury, he meets to his death, he dies. That's all about today's lecture, in which we discussed two remaining terms of our syllabus, ideals and irony. Rest of the three we shall be discussing in our next lecture. Mark it here. Thank you very much.